Oh, how's it going, peeps? I'm back again. This time I'm leaving the gym. And I figured I'd chat with you all about dieting tips for the new year. Alright, so talk to you all about some goal setting. Now the next thing has got to be your diet. And that's a real tricky thing for pretty much everybody, honestly. That's the hardest part. Like for me personally, I am completely hooked, have been completely hooked, and will continue to be completely hooked on weight training for the last 4 or 5 years that I've been doing things right, at least. And I will probably never stop. It's just, I live, honestly, I wake up every morning like, when can I go to the gym? When can I get in there and just make myself better? So once you get there, that's a great step. But the next step is trying to lock down a diet. And in this day and age, it's near impossible with the information that's out there. I mean, a lot of it is garbage, and you really gotta learn how to sift through all that garbage and find really what works for you. And I feel as if I'm a pretty good resource because I've tried a lot of junk. I know a lot of people who have tried a lot of junk, so I just like to help out as much as I can. I'm not gonna tell you what you're doing is right or wrong. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be, I don't know, too pushy, I guess. But I do have some suggestions if you're looking for some help. So number one is starting the new year. You've been thinking about what you're going to do differently, and you've come to the conclusion that you're going to cut out something. A couple of things you could cut out right at the beginning would be sugar beverages or beverages with a lot of calories. So, maybe switching away from like higher calorie milk, cutting out the Gatorades, cutting out the energy drinks. That's a pretty good start. I would suggest getting a lot of 0-calorie beverages. My go-to normally is 0-calorie or Powerade Zero. There's all kinds of different flavors, and yes, there's no sugar, so it doesn't taste quite as good. But if you really want to make the sacrifice, you're probably just going to have to get over it, in all honesty. I mean, I hate to be rude, but it tastes pretty good, and there's no calories. You can get a bottle at Walmart for 88 cents. What I normally do is I just pick up 7 at a time, have one each day of the week. If you're going to try to cut out your energy drinks with sugar and stuff, opt for the 0-calorie ones. There's 0-calorie Monsters, 0-calorie Rockstars that taste absolutely phenomenal. White Monsters instead of the high-calorie ones, like that's a really good start because you can cut out between 1 and 300 calories. And that's a big deal. But when you go with the cutting out stuff, you really got to be careful with going too extreme. A lot of people, bumps. A lot of people want to cut out all sugar or all carbs or all gluten, which don't even get me started on gluten. But cutting out gluten is not going to help you lose weight. But you cannot restrict yourself forever. You might make it a few days. You might make it a week. But your body needs some of that stuff, and your mind. You can't go 8, 12 weeks without having some sugar. And when you really restrict yourself, and then you finally get that taste, it's just, you just lose your mind. And then you go way overboard. I mean, how many times? I mean, if you're watching this video, you've probably done it. Or you do a really good week, your cheat day comes, and you have that one junk meal, and you're like, well, I eat it all anyway. Might as well just, we'll start over next week. Like, don't do that. Just start out eating in moderation. Cut out the stuff you should. Like, give yourself a treat. Don't eat a whole box of that treat, if you know what I'm saying. But sugar beverages, great way to start cutting calories right away. Portion control more than cutting stuff out. Like when I've competed in powerlifting twice, if you're new to the channel. And the first time I competed, I made a huge weight drop. I started my prep at 230 pounds, ended up at 195. And every single day of that prep, I had a Pop-Tart. a Pop-Tart, as in singular Pop-Tart. And that is, for some people, I'm a little more advanced into this, so when I see people that like have to eat multiple ones when they open a package, that is a little weak in my opinion. But I know everybody's at a different state. So, find something you really, really can't live without and eat it in moderation. For me, it wasn't that I couldn't live without a Pop-Tart, but having that one sweet thing every day, it kept me sane. And if you're going to find a treat that you can handle. When I'm counting calories, one Pop-Tart's a 200 calorie hit. It's really not that bad. I mean, that's not do or die. The sugar is a little off, but it's, nobody's perfect, and you're not going to be perfect. If you're really going to try to make a transformation, there is no way you will be perfect. Everybody slips up. Okay, specific diet plans. Hit you with this one. How many times in your daily life, throughout the years or whatever, have you seen someone start a diet and not finish it? Everybody. But more importantly, how many times, or have you seen, whoa, bumps everywhere. Sorry, bumps, they're rude. People who do a diet, successfully complete that diet, lose some crazy amount of weight, then you see them a year, 6 months, a couple months later maybe, and they put on more than half of their weight back. Extreme dieting sucks. Don't do it. There's just no way around it. Because once you finish that diet, and then most people think, oh, I did it, then they go back to their old ways. And what did their old ways get them? Where they were when they started the diet. So you really got to think about making life changes, and you really got to think about sustainability, because that is the key. Sustainability. When I did my extreme weight cut for powerlifting, had to make my weight class. I hit 195. I hadn't been that light in a long, long time. But after that meet was over, I went back to normal and right back to 220, which I don't hate myself at 220, but I could do better, and I'm going to do better. But we all have had the experiences. I know it's tough when it's not you. That's why I started the channel. I want to, spread the knowledge that I've gained, because then people can skip the years and years and years that I've put in. 4 or 5 years. Literally, if you think about it, I've lifted for 6 years, and I really think only about 3 of them were really like the proper way to do it. Like at the beginning, I was a lot for power, and that was cool. But then when I thought I was going to try to grow, I wasted a lot of time trying to follow diet plans, workout splits were just crazy. And I don't even follow programs anymore because I know. So that's my last and final tip: is experiment on yourself. Specific diet plans made for someone else are more than likely not going to fit you perfectly. Like when you first start a diet or a training program and you can't get a machine, or you can't quite hit the amount of food they want you to eat, or you don't have that option and you stress and you stress and you stress and you're like, oh my God, it's not going to work. Like more than likely you're going to be fine, but you really need to figure out what works for you, because you are you. For me, super low carb stuff kind of messes with my head. Can't handle it. Again, when I was prepping for my first meet and I did a huge weight cut, I was in school. I mean, I still am in school. So I'm taking tests, doing homework in ketosis. Not smart. Now, if you have the opportunity to, sorry, I shut my music off. If you have the opportunity to put yourself in ketosis and you think that's right for you, then by all means go for it, because it really does work. But if you have a high stress job, if you're really active, you're not going to be able to do that. Your body needs some carbs. So that's just one example of, seeing what works for you. I just, in my days of dieting, I have a really hard time sticking to a cardio regimen. Whenever I stick to one, I do awesome. But for me, that's my Achilles heel. I hate cardio, and I hate the way it makes me feel. Not after I'm done, but I try to hit legs twice a week forever, and I will continue to do that. So when I'm putting a lot of stress on my legs and my joints doing cardio, even if it's elliptical, it still hurts my legs. So just keep some of these examples in mind when you're trying to get ready for the new year. You know, it will be tough at times, but I promise you it will be worth it. I promise. So hit the subscribe button if you guys want to see more of my stuff. Leave some comments if you want me to discuss anything. I do have some knowledge up in here. So, you know, if you have a specific program, diet, supplements, let me know, and I'll try to help you the best I can. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a great New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and let's get ready to change some lives.